Greetings everyone. Today we're going to explore solving multi-step equations. But specifically in this video, we're going to have variables on both sides. So what that means is you're going to use all 5 solving steps. So make sure you're on the correct video. If you're in an algebra class here, you might have this foldable, and if you do, we're taking a look at the last tab. Now, you should have these steps written down on a previous tab. So can you flip back and make sure you have these? I'm going to review them, and if you don't have them written down, jot them down. Step 1 is take care of any distribution with a grouping symbol. Step 2, we're going to do a lot more combining of like terms. Step 3, and the step we're going to really work on today, is moving a variable. And maybe add a little hint. You're going to move that variable by adding or subtracting. Step 4, undo any addition or subtraction. And step 5, you're going to undo any multiplication or division. Now remember from my previous video, the little phrase, "don't call me after midnight," can help you remember the steps. So if you have trouble with memorizing, take a look at that little trick. All right, I'm going to go through each step on these problems, and we're going to color code for a little while so you can kind of get used to it. Don't call me after midnight. Step 1, distribute. There's no parentheses, so if we don't have it, we skip it. Step 2, combine. Can I combine a K and a 2? No. Can I combine a K and a 4? No. What that means is there's no combining. You do still want to go through that thought process though, okay? Let's start with move a variable. Look at my variables. I have 5K and I have 8K. We move them by adding or subtracting. So this is what's new today. Well, let's see. They're both positive. So how do I kick it over the line? How do I undo it? What's the inverse operation? We need to subtract. And here's where I like to call it a choose your own adventure. Would you rather subtract 5K or would you rather subtract 8K? Guess what? It doesn't matter. You get to decide, which means your work can look different than someone else's, and you can both arrive at the same answer. So, personally, I like to subtract the 5K. Look at how I have to write it under the other K. Do you see that? Opposite goes away. 8 kangaroos minus 5 kangaroos. I mean, put a word with it. I got 3 kangaroos. Drop down what you don't use. That's still the same. Next step, undo any addition or subtraction. Do I want to move the 2 or the 4? Well, I can't move the 2 or it'd be empty on that side of the line, so we have to subtract 4. Negative 2 subtract 4 is negative 6. Drop down what you didn't use. And my typical last step, undo any multiplication or division. Instead of times 3, let's divide by 3. So the actual calculation level of this is the same as always, but it's just that green step, that moving, that's new. Next example. Let's draw a line down the equal sign. First letter is D. Well, I don't have anything to distribute. Next is combine. I don't have anything to combine, you guys. Step 3, move a variable. Okay, should I move the 2W or the 2W? Doesn't matter, they're the same, right? And that in itself means this is going to be weird. I currently have a positive 2W, so we're going to subtract 2W. Uh-oh. Okay, this one's supposed to go away, but this one also goes away. Let's drop down. Let's keep going through the steps. Like it seems weird, but the negative 10 falls down, the equals falls down, and the negative 9 falls down. Let's talk about that. All my letters went away. They went away. So let me ask you a question with what we just wrote. Is negative 10 equal to negative 9? No, it's not even close. And so that can't happen. It's not true. So if I ask you, what is the solution? You would say no solution. You need to write those full words. No solution. Let's take a look at example 3. Step 1, distribute. Oh, I have some work to do here. Let's distribute the 2. 2 times 1, 2 times 2. Drop down what you didn't use. Step 2, combine. I can't combine z's and numbers or numbers and z's. Nothing to combine on the left, nothing to combine on the right. Step 3, move a variable. Will you want to move the 4z or the 4z? What? Okay, so obviously I have a unique situation, but do not assume anything. Show your work. We're going to minus 4z because it's currently positive. Opposite goes away, but then this also went away. Drop down what you didn't use. I need to see that step. I need to see where your word answer came from. So if I ask you, does 2 equal 2? Yes, it does. So my answer, you might have heard this before, infinite many solutions. Yes, I want all of the words written out. No abbreviations. Full true answer. What that means, infinite, that means forever, always, every number. I could take any number and plug it in for z, and it would work. I could plug in 5 for z. I could plug in 0 for z. I could plug in negative 523 for z, and it would work. So we have now realized that there are 3 types of answers. There's number answers, there's no solution answers, and there's infinite many solution answers. Okay, so keep that in mind as we go forward. Example 4. Please put a star by this one. You know, we always have to have that special case. Here's our special case. Draw a line down the equal sign. Remember before when we had a huge fraction bar? We got to get rid of it. We can't have huge fraction bars that take over the whole problem. So let's take care of that. Instead of a huge divide by this, we're going to take a huge times by this. Right? So instead of one value, we just have 2 values. The opposites go away. This falls down. This falls down. Now, please put parentheses around those pieces, right? Because if I just write x minus 3, something's going to look wrong. Alrighty. Now, let's go through our steps. We got rid of the big fraction bar. Distribute. Perfect. Let's distribute. 2 times x, 2 times 3. Drop down what you didn't use. Step 2, combine. Can't combine on either side. So that's a no-go. Move a variable. Oops, sorry, I want to color code that. Let me fix. Move a variable. I have 2 options. I have a positive x and I have a positive 2x. Do you want to subtract 1x or do you want to subtract 2x? You kind of get to choose. I think subtracting 1x sounds better. Doesn't matter. You have to just pick one of them, Okay, just pick one. If you don't know, just pick it. 1x minus 1x, opposites go away. 2x minus 1x is 1x. Drop down what you didn't use. Next step, undo any addition or subtraction. I'm going to add that 6 over. What I didn't use falls down. Do I need to divide by 1? Like, I had a 1 there, but is that going to change anything? Nope. X equals 9. We got to our answer before the end of the problem. Now, if you chose to move the 2x, you have one more step, don't you? So make sure to follow through. Oh my goodness, yep, take a look. Draw a line down the equal sign. This is not as hard as it looks. Step 1, distribute. Distribute 1/3. What's a third of 3? Use your calculator if you don't know. It's 1x. What's a third of 12? What's 12 divided by 3? 4. Wait, I gotta distribute again. This time, let's distribute the 2. 2 times x, 2 times 8. If you didn't use it, drop it down. Step 2, combine. Holy moly, look at the left side, okay? 3 things, but I can combine these. -4, +5 is +1. I didn't use the 1x. On the right side, holy moly's, okay. On the right side, I see 2x's minus 1x. That's 1x. I see -16 and +17. That's a +1. Sometimes you have to combine a lot, and that's okay. Step 3, move a variable. Do you want to subtract 1x or subtract 1x? Oh, this is a special one, but let's show it. Subtract 1x, subtract 1x. This cancels, but so does this. Drop down what you didn't use. I need to see this, you guys. We arrived at 1 equals 1. Is that true? Yeah, 1 is equal to 1. So that means it's a word answer. Infinite many solutions. Please write it out. Example 6. Don't get scared. I know it looks long. It's not too bad. Step 1, distribute. Distribute -2, -4x, -8. Ooh, let's go again. Distribute -3. Circle that negative. -6x, +6, because a negative times a negative. Let's drop down what we didn't use. Step 2, combine. Holy moly. All right. On the left side, I have 10x and -1x. 10 xylophones minus 1 xylophone is 9 xylophones. I have a +9 and a -11. That gets me a -2. All right, let's look at the right side. I see a -4x and a -6x. That's going to be -10x. I see a -8 and a +6. See how I'm marking them up? For me, that makes sense, right? If you are a color person, maybe you love playing with highlighters, maybe you highlight them, right? Maybe you underline in different colors. Maybe you box and circle them, right? Like come up with your method that makes this easier for you. Next step, move a variable. Would you rather subtract 9x or add 10x? Yeah, I'd way rather add. Adding sounds easier. So I'm going to add 10x. That gets me 19x. All right, let's drop down what we didn't use. I didn't use this, and I didn't use this. Next step, undo any, addition or subtraction. Instead of -2, I'm going to add 2. Wait, so this one was supposed to go away, but this one goes away. Now, normally I'd say drop down. You guys, I still have a letter. I am not done. This is weird. I can't have an empty equation. What is -2 plus 2? It's 0. You need a 0. If there's a letter, there's an answer. If there's a letter, there's an answer. If you're a highlighter person, you might want to be highlighting this and acknowledging that that's special. Okay? Last step, undo any multiplication or division. Instead of times 19, let's divide by 19. X falls down. What's 0 divided by anything in the world? 0. X equals 0. Use your calculator if you forget any of those calculation rules, but don't just say you're done if a side is empty. Let's take a look at this one. Draw a line down the equal sign. This one doesn't look as crazy, right? So let's go through our steps. Distribute. You can have larger numbers. Don't be afraid of that. Don't think you're wrong. Use your calculator. 5 times 13 will get you 65. 5 times 4 gets you 20. Next step, combine. There's nothing to combine. Nope, can't do anything on the left, can't do anything on the right. See how drawing that line's really helpful? Like there's no question. So keep drawing that line, please, please. Move a variable. Do you want to add 5a or subtract 65? Oh, gross. Nope, don't even talk about it. Let's add 5a. We're going to add it because it was negative and we're using the inverse. Drop it down. Didn't use it. Didn't use it. And we now have 70a. Undo any addition or subtraction. Instead of positive 20, you need to minus 20. That gets me negative 35. Drop down, drop down. Last step, undo any multiplication or division. Instead of times 70, let's divide 70. Uh-oh. Plug in your calculator if you don't get this. First of all, a negative divided by a positive is going to be a negative. This is 1/2. 35 over 7. If the bigger number is on top, it can simplify or reduce possibly. If the bigger number is on bottom, it's a fraction. We can divide top and bottom by 35. Or if you plug it in your calculator does fractions. Or you plug it in your calculator and it spits out 0.5. You know that's a half. Fractions are okay on that last step. It's going to happen. Don't let that steer you wrong. Last one. This one is weird. Look at how we have this awkwardly placed fraction bar. Our steps are kind of irrelevant right now. Let's just do what we can do, right? Like, can I kick anything over? Yeah, I can add 4. So let's do that. Let's drop down what we didn't use. Ah, gross. We have this huge fraction bar. Huge fraction bar, we got to get rid of it. Instead of divide, let's times. Eight times 2 is 16 and it has an x. Oh, okay, now this looks normal, right? I have a letter on the left and a letter on the right. Would you rather subtract 16x or subtract 1x? For sure, subtract 1x, right? Let's do it. Subtract 1x, subtract 1x. That gets me a negative 4 and a 15x. And my typical last step, divide. instead of times 15, divide 15. What is going on here, right? Does it divide? Nope. Does it simplify? No, it doesn't. My answer is going to be left gross. That's okay. Let's leave it that way. It doesn't have to be perfect. -4/15 is my final answer. Oh my goodness, that was a little bit longer, right? Because I'm trying to throw every situation or scenario at you for solving multi-step equations with those operations. Make sure to ask questions. Seek out the Sabre Center. If you want to work on homework with a teacher, you can walk in there at any time. Currently in 2023, that room is in E204. Just walk right in. And make sure you let me know if you need anything. Until next time, have a good one.